Howdy. So, another update for the Racetrap Mustang for Rocky Mountain Raceweek 2.0. I've been working on tuning this bugger for a little while tonight. I haven't got to mess with it for a little while. We adopted our old racehorse, and so my wife and son and I have been working on that a lot. And the past multiple days, I've been busy working on fence. Bunch of stuff updates since we haven't had a horse in a little while. Anyway, for today, I came out and I decided that since I didn't have enough time to really do a whole lot of anything mechanical on the car, I'd work on the tuning part because I haven't been able to figure out why I wouldn't run right. You know, it seems like I've got the basics in the tune for the injectors and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I've gone through 4 or 5 iterations or changes with the tuning on it. I think I'm getting closer. At least it looks like the fuel enrichment's getting closer and everything. And I still have to help it idle with my hand. I haven't figured that part out yet, but it's not overly rich yet once it gets past the startup fuel enrichment. And I'm just narrowing that down as I go, data logging it, looking at the data, looking at all, anyway, I'm new to all this, so it's taking me a little while. Anyway, so I'll show you how it's running. Maybe, fingers crossed. Should be ready though. Excuse the mess. I haven't got time to clean up out here lately. I'm going to start data logging it. Here we go. Still pretty rich. Let me save this real quick. So that's and I've been doing this for a little bit. It's semi-warm. That wasn't too bad. That was the closest it got yet. This last change was me figuring out what type of idle air control motor I had on there, because I bought one from Anderson Ford that was supposed to update and adapt all this to the General Motors type sensors that the computer uses. So you could hear it as the longer it ran, it would be hunting and it was slowly slowing down, and I could almost let off the throttle there. So that's the closest it's gotten so far to running without me, which is nice. I haven't adjusted any idle screw or anything, for the throttle plate. I haven't adjusted that at all. I'm hoping that I don't need to. I shouldn't have to, I don't think. Anyway, not bad. And then you can see as I increase throttle, you can tell it runs rough, trying to catch up to where I give it more gas. I increase the throttle. That's because I'm able to adjust how much fuel the computer puts into the engine based on how wide open the throttle is, like how much gas I give it, based on the temperature, based on how much air it's sucking in, based on how long it's been running and blah, 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 blah. And I have been focused on the first 2,000 RPM or so. So what you probably could see was that as long as I was under that 2,000, 2,100 RPM or so, I was having to make it run. And maybe it was a little rough, but it was running and doing okay. Not smoking too bad or anything like that. And then that last round, when I gave it a lot more throttle, that fuel table that I'm adjusting all the numbers on the computer, you can see where it's off. I got out of my territory, and it went from not running too rich to just like trying to turn into a diesel, smoking on me. And then it almost died on its own. It was too much fuel. So a lot of learning with this stuff. The fuel injectors in here can handle they can spray so much fuel into this engine that it's throwing me way off. I'm having to turn them almost off to get it to run. But everything says it's running better. So I'm getting there. It's a slow process. I'm sure that somebody that knows what they're doing with this kind of tuning stuff could have one or two changes in the computer and they'd be done. But that's it. That's where we're at. Phone didn't fall off. I've got it literally painter's taped to a coffee can full of nuts and bolts on my toolbox. Show you. Flip it around. There's the coffee can. Painter's tape. Yeah, I wasn't kidding. Anyway, it worked. So that is that. I think I'm about ready to call it for tonight. I still don't have any coolant running through it yet. And I wasn't able to get an alternator and water pump belt just yet. All the stores were closed when I went to get a couple tonight. So, yeah. So I'm not letting it get too warm either. It's probably 120 degrees or so, not too hot. That's that. So thank you, Allison, for letting me come out and work. I hope you've had a good Mother's Day week. It's been a crazy one. And we're heading into another week. Good job on your horse out there. I know you're working really hard on it. I love you. And James, thanks for letting me come out and do this. I know you want me to play that Xbox with you. We'll get there. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Bye. All right, as I'm sitting here watching the playback on my video where I started the car from like a third-person perspective and not just mine, I realized that the transmission is in a forward gear. I have no idea which one. I thought I had it in park or neutral. My drive shaft has recently been put in. I just recently put that in, and I haven't hooked up the shifter or anything yet. So when I adjusted the leverage on the transmission, I thought I had it in park. Probably all the way at the other end of the spectrum, and I've got it in first, I'm guessing. So, which is not the greatest because it's only got 5 quarts of fluid in it, and it needs probably 12. But I wasn't messing with that too much just yet until I got it to actually run where I could check the fluid level. Oops. Live and learn. So, good thing we got that video.